Hello everybody. A friend of mine wanted to know how he could improve his photos from an event that he took pictures at, similar to this picture that we're looking at here. So I told him a pretty quick fix is to open it in Photoshop, duplicate the layers a couple of times, so make a couple different layers off of the original. This bottom one's not needed. I'll show y'all why later. So right now I just need these two layers. I need one layer to blur and one layer to stay exactly the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the top layer off, and I'm going to modify the middle layer. I'm going to add a Gaussian blur to the entire picture. So I'm going to go down to the filter tab and then go down to blur, find the Gaussian blur, and here you can adjust your blur depth. Basically it's just like aperture in a camera. If you have a fixed lens or a prime lens that has an aperture of 1.2, you can take a better picture. But if you have a kit lens and that kit lens is stuck at, say, a minimum of 5.6 and goes up from there, you can't really get depth into your photo because your aperture is too high. So what we're going to do is we're going to simulate aperture in a photo. We're going to add aperture to this picture by adding a Gaussian blur to the back. I actually like a 6, so I'm just going to type in 6 on my keyboard. I'm going to hit enter. So now my middle layer has a Gaussian blur of 6. So let's go back to the top layer and turn it back on. To the right, to the left here, you can turn it back on by hitting the little eyeball. So there's the top layer, there's the middle layer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the top layer by just touching it one time, and now I want to erase the top layer so that I can see the background. This can be done a couple different ways, but this is just an old school way of doing it. See how big my brush is right here? I'm going to use my left bracket key on my keyboard, and that's going to reduce my eraser size. I can use my right bracket key and increase. So left bracket goes down. So rather quickly, I'm simply going to erase the background. I'm going to erase the background of the top layer, which is going to expose the middle layer. So right now all I'm doing is just erasing the top picture, parts of it anyways, the background aspect. So I don't really need this foreground to be in focus either, so just kind of blur that out some. Keep in mind I'm doing this rather quickly. It's not for a publication purpose of any kind. I'm not trying to make it a wonderful photo. I'm just trying to help show how you can improve a flat picture by adding some aperture back to it. So here we go, just kind of get in there, blur things up in the background strategically. Not really. So here we are. Just get in here around their heads, blur it up. This is basically adding, like I said, aperture to a picture. If you're stuck at a 5.6 but you want to pretend like you shot with a 1.2, this is how you would do that. Come in and add this Gaussian blur. The more time you spend on it, the better it's going to look. Obviously I'm not spending a lot of time on this, but don't forget to get in between arms, because if you miss that part it will be very noticeable to others that like to critique photos. So like this, gotta get in here, blur that lady's dress in the background, blah blah blah. Alright, everything looks about out of focus now. There we go, a little there, blah blah blah. Alrighty, add a little bit there. Next up, you want to add a solid layer. Before I add that solid layer, let me show you what's going on here. So there's the middle completely blurred. Here's the top layer. So I'm going to turn this middle layer and this bottom layer off, and you'll see that that's what I erased. I missed a lot actually, so let's just go in here and clean it up some. Look, I erased a lot of her too. It's okay. She comes back when you hit this layer. So there's that. So you have these two layers now, top, middle. What I want to do next is I want to add a solid overlay. So I want it to be black because I'm going to make a vignetting. So now that I have a solid black, I want to go and I want to highlight the surface area basically. And I want to increase my brush size. Sorry, not brush size. I want to increase my eraser size to about the same height as the picture. So here I'm just going to erase 2 or 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to reduce my eraser size, and I'm going to go a couple more times. 1, 2, and then I'm just going to do kind of a general walk around the people. 3. There we go. So that's adding a vignetting to your picture. Now I want to take these 3 and I want to merge them. So I hit the shift button on my keyboard, select the top one, hit the shift button, select the next one you want, and then I right click. I merge the 3 layers. Remember that third layer I told you we weren't going to use? It's just for this purpose. So this is the after. Here's the before, and here's the after. Before, the picture was very flat. The 5 people did not stand out, and after, we kind of made them a little more defined. We helped them to come off the page. They're the focus of the picture instead of this lady on the left hand side just kind of sleeping, this lady over here looking at me crazy, these people just chit-chatting, this lady wandering, this lady definitely staring at me. But there we go. Took those distractions out of the picture and gave those 5 people the center focus. But anyways, that's a quick way to do it. Should take you less than 5 minutes. Well, hope that helped. Thanks and have a great day.